When you're starting out as an author, it's hard to know your author brand. I'm not just talking about colors or visual, although those things are important. I'm actually talking about what you write. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how you can create an author brand that you can be proud of. Stay tuned. I'm going to share with you 3 tips to help you create an author brand that you can be proud of. And these are all things that you've heard before, and you've probably done some research yourself of how to brand yourself as an author. But I think it's important to look at examples and to also just have some practical steps that you can take. This is more for when you're starting out, but your author brand can also change over time as you're growing as an author. And so let's talk about 3 things to consider when creating your author brand. The first thing to do when creating your author brand is to have an author vision. And this is something that I encourage all authors to have. I actually have a free journal that you can download to help you create your vision. Having an author vision can help you know what your expectations are. And when you know what your expectations are, that can help you enjoy your author journey. And it also helps your readers to know what to expect from you. Because if you're all over the board, it's going to be very difficult for your readers to know what they can expect from you. And so when you're creating your author vision, you need to create a mission statement. And this mission statement is going to guide and dictate whatever you write. And it doesn't matter if you're a multi-genre author, you're going to have the same expectations and the same goals within your writing so that you can be proud of your work and you know what you're producing and you're also consistent. And this is something that's very helpful for readers too. And another really important question to ask yourself when you're considering your mission statement is, what do I really want out of my author journey? Now, there are some examples of authors who have branded themselves really well and they have stood the test of time. And when you think of them, it doesn't mean that you necessarily think of a specific type of a world or setting. It's more of the themes that they convey and things that have been consistent throughout all their books. So I went ahead and asked ChatGPT to help me come up with some ideals of authors who have branded themselves really well. Here are some authors that you might know. C.S. Lewis. His brand is timeless Christian allegories and thought-provoking fantasy worlds that feature lovable characters who wrestle with moral and spiritual dilemmas. Another example is Jane Austen. Her brand is sharp, witty romantic comedies that critique social norms, explore human nature, and feature strong, relatable heroines. Another really well-branded author is Dr. Seuss. His brand is playful, rhythmic children's stories with imaginative worlds, moral lessons, and iconic illustrations. Now, when you're creating this vision of the kind of work that you want to put out into the world, don't overthink it. Sometimes you're not going to discover this brand of yours until you start. And the reason I say that is because I feel like I've only recently found my specific brand. And I've always had a mission statement. So I've always known that my stories are going to include themes that encourage and invite people to learn about Christ and Christ-like attributes, and also have some themes of aloha in it because I am really grateful for my cultural heritage and I love sharing about my culture. So I started with the Incandescent Kingdoms, and that is a series of fairy tale retellings. And then I also write the Enchanted Hawaii Collection, which is a series of ancient Hawaiian legend retellings. Now, I love both of these series, but only recently I've blended both of them, and I've discovered a whole new world that I love writing. And I can't really share what I wrote recently, but I think in the coming years, as you see more of my works, you'll see more of that brand coming out of Hawaiian culture, fantasy worlds, and relatable themes that would invite people to learn and to incorporate Christ-like attributes into their own lives. So with that said, sometimes it's important to just start. And if at some point in your author journey, your earlier works are not on your brand, you can always take those off or you can rewrite them to be more of your brand. So don't get too hung up on this. I think it's more important to start, and that brand will just naturally come out and you will find what you love writing, what you're passionate about, and that will just naturally come with time. The second tip that I have to creating an author brand that you can be proud of is to keep God and Christ at the center of everything that you do. Keep them at the heart of your work and of your purpose as an author. And some important questions that you can ask yourself is, how can I incorporate my talents and beliefs into my writing? There are a lot of different ways to do this, and I had a really great interview with Sarah Barron that I'll link below, where she talks about how to incorporate them naturally into your writing. I learned so much from it, and I have so many ideas going forward of how I'm going to better be able to incorporate my beliefs into my writing. I think as Christian authors, this is very important that we keep this at the heart. And it doesn't mean that you have to go out and say, this book is an analogy of Christ or it's a lesson about this specific thing. But I do think it is important to at least have that in your heart when you're writing and have that a part of your mission statement or at least a part of your author vision. Now, the third tip, of course, is that yes, visual branding is important. And this doesn't mean that all your covers have to look the same or that they have to have the same fonts and everything. But I do think it is important to have a consistent visual marketing strategy, whether that's having a template that you use for all of your social media posts or a specific brand color. And when I started out, I actually decided that I would do lots of bright flowers and florals, and that would be my brand. And I did a lot of flat lay pictures with the book, and I surrounded it with artificial flowers and took pictures. But I found that this was not very sustainable for me. And so I've transferred now to doing templates on Canva. And every month I have templates and they're all like the same brand colors. So it makes it easier for myself to brand myself as an author. Now, like I said, it doesn't mean that all my covers are going to be this set color palette, but it does mean that it's easier for me to market myself. And when people see my posts, they know, oh, that's Lay because these are the colors that she uses in the style. So it is important to be consistent with your visual marketing. And there are a lot of courses that you can take. I encourage you to do your research and take the time to create a visual brand identity as well. And just like the first step, don't overthink it. You can always change it over time and as you discover more of your brand and your colors and things like that. So the most important thing is to just start. And if you're really struggling, I just want to say that there are pre-made templates available on Etsy or Fiverr and also freelance graphic designers who can help you create a visual brand that you can be proud of. And I just want to end with this quote that I hope is encouraging for you guys because it sometimes feels daunting in this world to brand yourself. It feels like very constricting and that you have to only be one thing or you can only be able to write one type of genre or just it feels very limiting. And so I want to end with this quote by Elder Gregorio Casillas, and I'll link it below. He says, "While it's certainly important to prepare yourself to succeed in this very competitive world, one of your crucial missions throughout your life is to become a disciple of Jesus Christ and to follow the impressions of the Spirit. As you do this, God will bless your life, He will bless your current or future family, and He will bless the lives of His children who you encounter." So, yes, branding yourself is important and the world is very competitive. But more important than that is being a disciple of Christ and inviting people to come to Him and taking care of your family, showing love and compassion to others, and of course, being humble. So, with all that said, I hope that you guys will go and enjoy creating a brand that you are so proud of and that you love and that you're excited about. And remember that you can always change. Even if you're in this brand of this season of your life, you can always change and do something else. And that's the beauty of this life is that we can change. If you loved any of these tips or if you have a tip of your own, please go ahead and comment below. Please like this video and subscribe. I post videos like this every week to help you enjoy your author journey and write stories that inspire. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Aloha.